Well, the Washington Capitals are back on the winning track. Yeah, that's right, kids. No three-game losing streak. They beat the Blue Jackets. We'll also talk about them and the Ducks, the Quackers, once again, here on Locked On Caps.
Your Locked On Capitals, your daily podcast on the Washington Capitals. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Locked On Capitals. I am your host, as always, the insider of the insiders, Tyler Kuehl, getting ready for another week of Washington Capitals action. And by week, I mean 2 games. Yeah, there's going to be a few days off after this show, but that's okay. We'll find ways to kill time here on Locked On Caps. Like I said, we're going to talk about the win on Saturday. We're going to talk about the game tonight against the Ducks, and we're not going to look ahead to the game against Pittsburgh on Friday because that's just way too far in advance. But we'll also get to our Kuehl Caps of the night and more here on Locked On Caps. But I got to say thank you very much, guys, for making Locked On Caps your first listen and first watch today and every day. As you guys know, we're free and available on all platforms, your favorite podcatcher, wherever you listen to us, Spotify, Google, Apple Podcasts. I'm pretty sure we're on some weird third-party site that you probably don't want to know about, but that's okay. We're everywhere here on Locked On Caps. And, of course, like I said, if you feel like watching me ramble on about the Washington Capitals, absolutely check out the YouTube channel, the Locked On Capitals channel on YouTube. That is where we are every single day, Monday through Friday. So, with that, full disclosure, yes, I'm recording this on Sunday. I'm just going to make that perfectly understandably clear because, well, I don't feel like getting up early Monday morning. And, you know, I don't know, record on Sunday night just kind of makes it nicer because then it's just a good way to end the week end the weekend. By that, I mean getting back to work earlier, but it's okay. It's nice because I have the football in the background as the time I'm recording this, and it could change by the time we're done here. The Detroit Lions are leading in the fourth quarter of their football game that they're playing today. They're taking on the Minnesota Vikings right now. And, of course, people remember that they lost on a last-second field goal against Chicago on Thanksgiving. And they lost to Minnesota on a last-second field goal the first time they played. Also, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they lost to when Justin Tucker kicked the NFL record 66-yard field goal. That was also against the Lions. So we'll just have to wait and see if they do the thing today. But let's get to Washington. They took on Columbus on Saturday, having lost back-to-back games, albeit one of them was in a skills competition. Yes, I call it a skills competition. I will always call it a skills competition. They lost the Blackhawks on Thursday night. This was a tough game for sure because Columbus certainly is no slouch. And also, you got a little bit more of a good feeling when you saw that Daniil Tarasov was in net for Columbus, Jonas Korpisalo out with an undisclosed illness. I've been told it is not COVID related. But, of course, Washington was having a little bit of trouble themselves, as we found out with COVID, as Nick Dowd and Trevor Van Riemsdyk are both in COVID protocol. Hence why when we were all kind of getting ready for the game on Saturday, we all saw that the Washington Capitals were all wearing masks. Now, I myself, I wear a mask. So I'm not saying that people should, I'm vaccinated myself and I don't have to wear a mask, but, just COVID's becoming kind of a bit of a problem around here. So I choose to wear a mask. So I'm seeing Washington Capitals do it. I'm like, okay. Some people making a big deal about it, saying they're all vaccinated. Well, I'm sorry. If you didn't see the previous memo from the league, they're trying to cut down on any COVID-related issues. Trust me, I know this because it's a little bit of a problem because I myself am, I see the memos, and a lot of places of work are changing their protocols because of the rising cases. So anyways, Washington, they come to Capital One Arena. They're wearing their masks. Everything is okay because they're trying to stay healthy as much as humanly possible. Now, with that said, they go into the game, and good start to the game, I would say, for sure. They end up out shooting. It was only 11-9 were the shots in the first period. Columbus kind of hung around a little bit. The Blue Jackets, I don't want to say this is the Blue Jackets team we started to expect at the beginning of the season, but you could tell things were a little bit off as the game wore on. But Tarasov had to make a couple of big saves early on. Had to make a nice save on Connor Sheary right off the hop, it seemed like. But then a couple minutes later, Justin Schultz throws one up from the point, gives it to Alexei Protas. Protas takes one shot. He is stopped on the rebound. Alexei Protas, former Prince Albert Raider, banging in his second goal of his National Hockey League career. The big 6'6" man makes it 1-0 Washington. good start. Like I said, Justin Schultz getting the assist back off of being allegedly, according to Brian McClellan a couple weeks ago, week and a half ago, they said he was going to be week to week, but he's back in and producing. 1-0 Caps in the first period. That is it for this first period of scoring. Second period, though, the Washington Capitals really asserted their authority. They outshoot Columbus in the second period. Kid you not, folks. 13-2. Boy, were these shots a very, very wide margin, and the chances were even wider. Tarasov had to make a couple of huge stops, had to really stand on his head to keep the Columbus in the game and try to keep it tied, but it wasn't tied forever, though, because Alexander Ovechkin coming down that right wing side, he hasn't scored a couple games. What's he going to do? Well, he's just going to just snap that one in there, rips it underneath the arm of Tarasov. Goal number 20 on the season, goal 750 on the career of Alexander Ovechkin. That was a good, I don't say it's a vintage Ovechkin goal, because the vintage Ovechkin goal, of course, is that 1T on the power play where he's like, I'm right here, guys. And blah! No, he just comes down the wing and just has that really good hard wrist shot, which he's done a time or two before. And the crazy part is, if you look back on it, watch it again, he does that a lot when he comes down that right wing side. He doesn't try to go short side glove high. He shoots it across his body far side, which it's crazy, because as a shooter, the best way to beat some goaltenders is to try to go to the shortest distance between your stick and the net, which is short side high. But because it's a little bit of a better angle to try to get a shot on from and try to beat the goaltender. Well, he has shown that he has that kind of that quick wrister, that wrist rocket of his, that is able to beat goaltenders to the wide side. Because the reason why I say that, folks, is because especially when you're a right-handed shot coming down that wing, if you have to pull it across, you almost kind of give the goaltender a better angle to make the save, which is why that he had to go underneath the arm of Tarasov. And once again, such a hard shot that it was still a difficult one for Tarasov to stop. And I'm sure Tarasov and I myself, if I let that one in, when you let one underneath your arms, we call it the chicken wing. It's one that you kind of want to have back, because you really think, man, if it was in the frame of my body, I could have stopped it. So nonetheless, it's 2-0 Caps because of Alexander Ovechkin getting back on the goal scoring track, 20th of the season. Blue Jackets almost make it a 1-goal game. You have a nice shot coming off of Yegor Shinnikov. However, as Craig Laughlin very obviously put it, he was offsides. And by he, we mean Greg Hoffman. The puck was bouncing around the neutral zone, and it's picked up by Shinnikov, and he comes on in, and he's like, I have a great opportunity to bring it on in. And unfortunately, same guy was thinking that was Hoffman. Problem was, there wasn't really good communication involved. Hoffman went about 1.5 feet offside. The goal gets disallowed. It's still 2-0 after 2 periods of play. By the way, can we mention the fact that Connor McMichael, with the absolute dangle on Gustav Nyquist and Zach Werenski, he didn't score a goal in this game, but Connor McMichael, guys, it's video game stuff here. He's coming up with the puck, and he's thinking to himself, all right, I got Gustav Nyquist on me, a forward playing defense. So, what am I going to do here? Well, what does he do? He sees him coming in, and he literally does the move we all try in like beer league or pickup or shinny or whatever. He tosses the puck around Nyquist, does a 360 figure skating move to go around Nyquist. Nyquist ends up colliding with Zach Werenski because he was in the play. And he comes in with a great scoring chance, and Tarasov makes a great save. Holy cow, if he completed that goal, dude, sorry, OB. You're not goal of the year candidate anymore, goal of the year material anymore. This new kid on the block, McMichael, has taken that crown, because holy cow, that was a sick play from McMichael. But it's only 2-0 after 2. And more importantly, shots were, it's still a crazy number to say, 24-11 after 2 periods of play. Washington, a little bit more even in the third period. Shots were only 8-7 in favor of Washington in that third period, but that second period seemingly almost did in the Blue Jackets. They did, though, get within a goal. They made things a little bit interesting. Great feed from Justin Danforth to have a bang-bang play with Eric Robinson, his third of the season. It makes it 2-1. And I'm telling you, I was kind of nervous, because I'm like, well, it's one of those games where you outplay a team, you outchance a team, you outscore a team for the majority of the game. However, when the goaltender keeps a team in the game like Tarasov did, sometimes you just get out goalied. That's just how it happens. But thankfully, the Caps were able to hunker down. Samsonov didn't have to make too many saves in this one, but when he was called upon, he had to make some nice stops, especially in the third period. Garnet Hathaway pots his 7th goal of the game. That's it. 3-1 winners for the Washington Capitals. Not a pretty win by any stretch, but you know what? After losing back-to-back games, sometimes it's good to just get 2 points once again. That's, I think, the thing that Peter Laviolette took to the team in the locker room. Like, you know what, guys? Not our best, but hey, we got the win. Let's get on and get ready for Anaheim coming up here. So, by the way, Garnet Hathaway, 7th of the season, had 7 hits in the game, led the Washington Capitals. Tarek El-Bashir put this out on Twitter after the game, or excuse me, Capitals PR did. And it was a goal. Garnet Hathaway with 7 hits, 30 hits for the Capitals in this one. Second this season, second most on home ice. The other was 32 early in the year, which is kind of crazy because as we see, we know guys like Ovi can hit. Tom Wilson, of course, can hit, both good and bad Wilson. But, sometimes, you have a game like this against Columbus, who's a very tight checking team. You have to play a little bit more physical to beat them. And they did in both facets tonight or on Saturday night for the Washington Capitals. We'll get to the matchup on tonight between the Ducks or Monday night between the Ducks and the Capitals here in just a moment. Break down the matchup. The second time these two teams have faced off this season. Anaheim won the first game, of course, as you remember, in overtime. One of the many overtime losses this year for the Washington Capitals. But guys, if you want an all-star team, you need an all-star hiring partner, and you need Indeed. Indeed is a hiring partner that gets you what you really want, a short list of quality candidates as fast as possible, because you can do it all. Attract, interview, and hire all at Indeed. Indeed is an unbelievably powerful hiring partner where you can attract, like I said, interview and hire. Don't struggle on your own to find quality candidates. Indeed can help you hire the right people, right now. Indeed partners with you on every step of the hiring process, so you can find talent with the skills you need through tools like Indeed Instant Match, assessments, and virtual interviews. Get started right now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your post at Indeed.com/lockedon. Get a $75 credit, like we said, by using the code LOCKEDON. Offer valid through December 31st. Terms and conditions do apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. And does this sound familiar? You got one device that lets you catch the game live, another lets you stream your favorite shows, and you're watching your sports highlights on your phone. You got your best friend's neighbor's login for the good stuff. Well, I'm going to tell you about a simple way to get all the entertainment you love without the hassle, and a great way to finally get your TV together. DirecTV Stream. It brings your live TV and on-demand favorites together like never before, so you can watch your favorite sports, movies, and shows all in one place. The best part, no juggling remotes and no need to buy another device ever again. And the best part, there's no annual contract, so get rid of the clutter and the confusion and get your TV together with DirecTV Stream. You can learn more at directtv.com. That's directtv.com. Compatible device required. Content varies by package. So now, on Monday night, at Capital One Arena, the Washington Capitals taking on the Anaheim Ducks for the second time this season. Now, if you guys remember, during the West Coast trip, the Ducks won in overtime. Certainly an entertaining game to watch. I don't think, we can really say that it was not a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. I thought Capitals played good, but the Ducks were at that point a really hot team at that point of the season. And of course, it was the first game of the West Coast trip. Vanacek was the start. He was at that point the 1A starter. And I really thought he played well. I thought the Caps played well, but the Ducks are just a little bit better. They got a couple more bounces goes their way, and that's why they won the game on that night. Now, they're hanging around in that Pacific Division right now. They lost in a shootout to Calgary on Saturday night in Hockey Night in Canada, but they are still a team, guys, that I'm not saying that, this ain't last year. This is not a team that we can just go up and say, well, the Anaheim Ducks are, that's 2 points, right? What's John Gibson going to do? Oh, my goodness. We have to face Jonathan Bernier. Oh, my goodness. Who's their top scorer? Ryan Getzlaf? This is easy. Well, not the case anymore. I really think that this Anaheim Ducks team, I know it's early, and I know I said Christmas is going to be the cutoff point this year, but this is a team that, I don't want to say it's playoff bound, but they certainly have a shot to, especially the way Vegas started off this year. Especially the way, even though the California teams are playing well, but, certainly by the way Vancouver really has tailed off. Seattle's picking it up, but, it's going to be tough for the expansion kids on the block here. Anaheim's playing solid right now. I don't think any of us can really doubt that by any stretch. That's the crazy part in this whole thing. So with that, how have they been doing it? Well, of course, Troy Terry was on that prolific point streak earlier on this season. Ryan Getzlaf is an assist machine, 19 assists, which leads the team. 25 points by Troy Terry. He and Getzlaf are the only two with 20-plus points. Trevor Zegras is just a unit. He is a very crafty player. He's excellent at moving the puck. He has the finishing touch as well. Sonny Milano playing well. Kevin Shattenkirk going to old form. Adam Henrique trying to show that it's 2013 or 2012 all over again. Cam Fowler's playing well. Jamie Drysdale, 19-year-old Jamie Drysdale, I think is probably from that 2020 draft slowly becoming one of the best picks from that draft. I know Lucas Raymond and people in Detroit are probably going to yell at me because Raymond is having part near a Calder candidate season, but I think Jamie Drysdale is going to give him a run for his money. Yeah, Hampus Lindholm is stepping up. Jakob Silverberg's giving up. Rickard Rakell also playing well. It's all hands on deck right now. And of course, the goaltending's helped out a lot as well. Anthony Stolarz, I know they've lost a couple of games here when he's played, but I thought he's looked okay when he's been called upon. Jonathan Gibson, he's had a couple of tough goes over the last little bit, but he's certainly having a bounce back year for sure. I'm not convinced that the Caps are just going to walk into home ice even tonight or Monday night and say that they have an easy 2 points here against the Anaheim Ducks. I think the Ducks are going to come out hard. This is their first game of this East Coast road swing they have coming up here. They were at home against Calgary on Saturday, but then they are going to Washington tonight, Buffalo on Tuesday. So hard back-to-back. And I say hard because Buffalo is pesky. I know they're not going to go far in the Atlantic Division there, but they're certainly a team that's playing tough, and maybe they may get Malcolm Subban, who just was recently acquired by Buffalo. Columbus on Thursday, Pittsburgh on Saturday. The Pittsburgh Penguins that are slowly streaking up this Metropolitan Division because of a 100% healthy and in rhythm Sidney Crosby, among others. Evgeny Malkin, of course, skating with that team as well. He could be back soon for Pittsburgh. Not an easy swing here for the Anaheim Ducks, and I think they realize that as well, and this is their first game, and they know they have to come out hard because when you're taking on Columbus and Pittsburgh later on this week, it may not be an easy road to get wins later on. So certainly starting off this road trip on a good note is important. So they're going to want to try to win this first game. They're going to come out hard. Gibson, I think, is going to be ready to play. And, from the Washington side of things, I think it's hard to say you got to play better after you almost double up a team in shots, but you're going to have to take advantage of their opportunities. Tarasov played really well in that game on Saturday for the Blue Jackets. However, I think it's pretty clear that they're going to have to even put up a better effort if they want to beat Gibson. I think Gibson's going to be really ready to go, knowing he's going up against a few guys that if Gibson keeps it up, he may be playing on the Olympic team. Of course, if we go to the Olympics, he's going to want to show that he is an elite goaltender. And I'm really excited to see him play on the Eastern Seaboard. Like I said, this is only the second time since 2019-2020 season that these teams have played against each other. The Capitals are going to have to come up, and I would presume we're going to see Samsonov. He's going to have a few days off before the game on Friday against Pittsburgh. So, and I strongly believe that Ilya Samsonov has picked up the 1A spot from Vitek Vanacek. Nothing against Vanacek. I don't think he's played poorly over his last few starts. It's just the fact that Samsonov's been better. And when you have two goaltenders who can be starters in this league, you have to have that kind of mentality as your head coach. And Laviolette has that. You don't pick and choose whoever is supposed to be your number one starter. You play who's playing better. Samsonov right now hasn't really slipped up a whole lot as I knock on this wooden table for all the Caps fans at home. But that's something that they're going to really have to push going on forward here. And it's going to be a big game for Washington because they have no excuse to be like, well, we got to save ourselves for tomorrow night. They have to come all out. They have to go all out because they have a few days off before taking on Pittsburgh. And that can obviously benefit the Ducks because that game against Pittsburgh coming up here is the first of a half of a back-to-back for the first half of back-to-back for the Penguins. So, maybe the Caps can loosen them up for Anaheim on Saturday. So that game tonight, 7 o'clock puck drop in Capital One Arena in the district before their next game is on Friday. So it should be a fun one between the Ducks and the Caps. We'll give our Kuehl Caps the night of Saturday night, that is, here in just a moment's time. But guys, this holiday season, grab the protein bar that tastes like a candy bar or even better than a candy bar. Built Bar, filled with so much holiday goodness, rich with decadent flavors, covered in chocolate, but amazingly low in calories, sugar, net carbs, and fat, and high in protein. You get the best of both worlds, delicious and healthy. And so many flavors as well, you'll have a hard time choosing. Well, you have raspberry mint brownie, cherry or double chocolate, cookies and cream or peanut butter brownie, Built Bar gives you the extra fuel you need to bust down the mall doors and battle the holiday shoppers. Or if you're just standing in endless shopping lines, Built Bar to give you a little extra something to keep you going, get you through the day. So throw in one in your jacket or purse because you never know when you're going to need it. And it's the season of peace and love. So don't bring up your favorite Built Bar family at family parties because people are so passionate about their favorite flavors, they'll fight for it and things can get out of hand. Like some of the marshmallow treats, Built Bar marshmallows are a thing now. They are fluffy and marshmallowy through and through with the different flavors, all covered in chocolate as well. Go to Built.com and use the promo code LOCKED15 to get 15% off your first order. And guys, it's Thanksgiving and the holiday season. You know what that means? Football. Nothing better than football than sports betting. BetOnline is the number one way to get you covered for the holiday season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your number one spot for all the sports and hockey action this holiday season. Head to their new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus by using the promo code LOCKEDON to receive the bonus. And it's not just football either. BetOnline has pro and college hoops, the National Hockey League, boxing, UFC, favorite Vegas casino games, and more. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers for the 21-22 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all of your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. So, before we get to the Kuehl caps of the night, let's take a quick gander at the scores and the games that are going to be on tonight. Not a whole lot of games on Sunday, only a few. But Monday night, there's going to be a few real key ones, a few interesting ones. The Ottawa Senators going to Newark, take on the New Jersey Devils. New Jersey trying to stay at 500 or above. Colorado Avalanche go over to Philly, take on the struggling Philadelphia Flyers. Boy, but Colorado trying to find their footing because right now in that Central Division, they're fourth, but not by much right now. Speaking of the Central Division, you're going to see Arizona getting hosted by the Dallas Stars down in the American Airlines Center. Boy, Dallas is starting to pick it up a little bit, but man, you just wonder of how long they're going to be able to hang around there. Because like I said, that Central with, dare I say, Minnesota at the top, it's getting a little competitive there. Out west, you're going to see LA take on Vancouver. The Canucks trying to get out of the cellar while LA tries to stay in the hunt in the Pacific, while the Seattle Kraken back on the West Coast hosting the Pittsburgh Penguins. So, interesting Monday night's action. Let's get to the Kuehl caps, though, on Saturday. First of all, you got to give Alex Ovechkin one. I don't think anyone's really doubting that at all. 750th of his career, 20th of the season, the leading guy for the Washington Capitals. He's just played so well this year that the more I know I talk about him a lot. Then again, I think everyone does. But I think it'll be easier when we stop talking about it. But when the fact of the matter is this, guys, he's almost at 40 points already, and we're not even at Christmas. He's never, when was the last time he was at this scoring pace? I mean, there's a chance he could hit well over 100 points this year. That right there is the craziest thing, is that he has a chance to do something that he hasn't done since the late 2000s. I'm just kind of guesstimating there. Actually, let's take a look. Let me just click his profile here on Hockey Reference. When was the last time he did it? Last time he hit 100 points was 2009-2010 season. The first real year, maybe the second season, because 2009 they made it to the second round in Game 7 against the Penguins. But 2010, the first year I think Washington was really considered a favorite in the playoffs. 109 points, 50 goals, 39 assists. That was the last time he's hit the century mark in points. I don't want to go as far to say that this is going to be a guy that is going to hit the 50 goal mark and be the Rocket Richard winner, but boy, he's at a pace right now that's crazy, and that's the thing I think that's really, really important for the Washington Capitals as they move forward here, is that if he can keep up at this pace, and I know that at early stages it was him and Kuznetsov and the Band of Merry Men, but now he's starting to get a little bit of support. But if he can keep going at this rate, man, the crazy part is too, while he's not the only player that has over 20 or more points, John Carlson, Tom Wilson, and Evgeny Kuznetsov all have hit that mark this season. But here's the thing. I really think that he's onto something here. He's the only Capital with 10 or more goals this year. The only one that's close to that is Wilson and Kuznetsov, each who have 8. When you're outscoring the rest of your teammates that badly, that is insane. The other one, I'm going to give it to Alexei Protas. The big guy, I think he's really started to starting to find his niche since getting called back up the second time. Has now 5 points on the season. He had 2 assists in the win against Florida, scored his first goal the next game against Carolina. I mean, the big man from Belarus I think he's probably a guy that they're really hoping to craft similar to a Tom Wilson type. Big guy that can move, can be a playmaker as well. I think that's what Tom Wilson, as we've seen, he can show that he has hands a little bit, but Protas, it seems like he has a different level to him. So really like his game so far. And those are my Kuehl caps of the night. I mean, I can give Samsonov another one if you want as well. I mean, Samsonov has been great this year. 10-1-1 now on the year, 917 save percentage, 239 goals against average, 3 shutouts. He's been incredible this year, and that's why he is the 1A now for the Washington Capitals. Well, folks, that is it for today's edition of Locked On Capitals. Thank you very much for listening and watching. Now go make Locked On Bets your next listen of the day. You can check them out with your boy Q and Lee Sterling, giving you the best analysis and get you ready for all your sports gambling needs. You can follow us here at Locked On Caps on Twitter, at Locked On Caps. Follow me, Tyler Kuehl, the Insider of the Insiders, at TJKU29. We'll see you tomorrow, recapping the Anaheim Ducks game for the Washington Capitals and see how they did against the West Coast foe. And then a few days off for Washington. We'll kind of give you a little bit more in-depth analysis on the players and the team itself before their next game. That is it, folks. I'm Tyler Kuehl saying so long, and thank you very much for watching this episode and listening to this episode of Locked On Capitals.